Alright, here we go. Another project day. This time back on the Tacoma. Gonna give the 34 a break. Today, first thing I'm gonna do is get ready for tomorrow's project. Anyway, this is what we're gonna be doing. So my good friend Jamie, his CV boots, he only has a 3-inch lift on his Tacoma 2017, 2018. And the boots have cracked. And that's probably due to just natural wear and tear. Part of it is probably due to the angles of the axle along with it rubbing each other, but I'll show you something a little similar on the other one. Anyway, for now I'm gonna unbox this. This is trail gear. I do have some bright ideas as usual on how to make this this project a little better. I'll show you that in a minute. So first I need to open this and see what I have. Alright, so this trail gear kit costed about $119, and that was with shipping. A whole lot of stickers. So first you get two sets, 2 inners, 2 outers. And I think I opted for the increased high angle silicone external boot. It was only about $1 more, so what the heck. Comes with the outer, the inner, comes with all the bands, the lock rings, inner grease, outer grease, and instructions. So it looks like they gave me an extra set of bands, their own version of the bands, along with, I guess, whatever came in the kit. So alright, let me explain something a little further of how I'm going to improve this project. Alright, so normally if you're not hyperextending your axles, your driveline axles will be straight. But most guys like that lifted look, so they're going to increase the angle. What that does is it's going to put stress, and it's going to have constant contact of these little folds. So when you run high extreme angles, it's going to look like that. The other silicone company, I don't even know which one they get, that orange one, they do provide little rings to put in here. Those little rings keep the spacing apart while you're articulating. And I'll show you that on my Tacoma. Alright, I'm not sure how well the lighting will be, but I'll show you what it looks like on my Tacoma. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but right here is that ring. That ring will stop the pleats from touching, rubbing each other, and potentially causing cracks. And I have it on both sides. So that's the plan for today. Basically, I'm gonna go down to the hardware store, look for some rings that will match this. I'm gonna put those rings between several of these, and I think it's just a regular standard rubber O-ring, but it's gonna help a lot, along with doing that other mod to the front part. I'll show you guys all that when we get to that point. So now it's time to go to the store, look for those little rings. I'm gonna try to insert this. I'm gonna bring this with me as a guide, and I don't know, I might take you guys with me, show you what I found. Alright, check this out. So I'm in the plumbing section. This is what I found. These rubber O-rings are perfect, exactly what I need. This should work. I brought the boot with me as a sample, so this is going to work really, really good. All right, let me grab a bunch of these things. I'll grab a couple of these, maybe some of these. These are pretty thick, so it should work. All right, I'm out of here. Let's go start this project. Okay, so you saw from the video, I got a bunch of these O-ring things. I'll show you right now what it does. All right, so I'm not sure if this idea is gonna work. I don't know. In here, there's a bunch of O-rings, and everything from 2.5-inch diameter up to 3.5-inch diameter. This is the problem with your original CV boots. When there's high angles or any kind of angle, it bends, right? It's this bending motion, the constant bending, the constant rubbing of each other, the constant friction, that is what's going to cause your CV boots to rip. So, ergo these. Like the orange ones, all you do is you take these big fat rubber washers, put them here, and that'll stop it from bending. So I'll show you now. This one bends. Now let me put the boots on. All right, something like that. So now when it goes to flex, all right, I think it'll work. The rubber stops, so the rubber O-rings stop the pleats from touching each other, binding up. Yeah, I think this will work. All right, anyway, that's the project for today. Jamie's on his way with his truck. We're gonna pull everything apart, and then I'll show you guys how to do that. I already did a video on that a while ago. So anyway, let me grab Jamie's truck. I'll put it on time lapse and let you guys see what that looks like. All right, Jamie's here at the truck. Time lapse. Get this going.
Gotta find some leverage right now. Hey, fuck, my arm is starting to hurt. I just did arms yesterday. My arms is killing me.
Okay, time to see what I got. All right, let me take a look at this. I'll be right back. All right, so now that the axles are out, I'll just do a time lapse. We're gonna take everything apart, clean everything up, switch the boots over, and then I'll show you guys my special idea. All right, real quick, I'll show you the difference between the two. The new one is a little longer, and the old one is a little shorter. So while Jamie fights with the circlips, I'm gonna try to figure out how to get everything back together. I'll show you guys in a little bit. I need to charge the battery, so while he fights with that, I'll be right back. Alright, that's it. Okay, so everything's back together. Let me give you a close-up of what it looks like finished. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we'll take a look. Yeah, so there you go. This wasn't necessarily a how-to, but more of a inspirational thing to give you guys an idea of what you can do to your trucks. See if that helps you. I don't know. It helped us for today. Anyway, sorry guys, super fast video, hopefully only about 5-10 minutes. I still need to get along. I still need to do a ton more things with the Skyline. So much parts came in, I just don't have the time. I still need to convert the alternator to an LS alternator. The new suspension, air cups came in, everything came in. I got so much stuff going on. Anyway, hope this helps some of you out there. This is just an idea, well, my bright idea, which actually turned out pretty good for once. So anyway, thanks for sticking around. Everybody that checks out my videos, everyone that subscribed, awesome. I never thought it would end up like this, but thank you anyway. Have a good weekend, guys. See you guys again on my next project.